welcome to the final episode in season 1 of Hello Healing. And I am so excited. And if you're just catching us for the very first time, I'm Dr. Radisha, your host. And guess what? I'm here with my crew, my loyal crew. We got Crescent Campbell and Shantoya Chapman. What up, ladies?
Whoop, 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 whoop. We in the
Hello,
house.
hello.
No, right. Can y'all believe this is the season finale for season 1?
I know.
Oh,
Woo!
I can't. Oh
I,
my
You know
goodness.
what? God is good. God is
Yes,
good.
all the
yes,
time.
he is. Yes,
We're gonna be talking
yes.
about it, praying about it, and letting y'all know what we got in store for the upcoming seasons. But we are gonna be talking about these gas prices. That's what we bring into the couch today. Listen, like I was telling y'all before we went live, if gas prices go up anymore, I literally am gonna be sliding down somebody's pole.
Doing something strange for a
I
piece of
know.
change.
Listen, but get your daddies and your granddaddies ready, okay? Because I'm about to make this money for these gas prices, y'all. Listen, these are the highest prices for gas in 14 years. And I know we got loyalty issues, and so some of us loyal to our favorite gas stations that are a little bit higher than others. So how are you guys handling this gas hikes? Crescent, what you doing, girl?
Listen, I had to go out of town this weekend to go visit my mom, and my husband said, "How much was the gas?" And I said, "I didn't look, I just pumped." Don't you know, after he asked me, I found the receipt and I looked and I was like, "See, this is why I don't look at it. This is why I don't look at the receipt." $71 to fill up my car.
Oh,
I'm not driving no huge SUV. I'm driving a little crossover.
right,
Wow.
And
right.
then where I live in Jersey, we don't pump our gas.
That's
So now
right.
they're talking about now they're saying they're taking that away. So you want to increase my prices and I got to pump my own gas?
Wow.
What in the ghetto? Mm-mm.
Yes,
Mm-mm.
right. You know what? You're right. I used to come visit all the time, and we drove up to New York and we went through Jersey, and that was so surprising to me. Like they wouldn't let you, they like stop you from pumping your own gas. That
Wow.
is crazy. You know,
These
Awesome.
hands,
wow.
we
Don't
don't
touch
touch
the gas
gas
pump.
pump. Mm-mm. No, I'm so
I
spoiled.
Rising, you might be on
That's
that
good.
pool next to me touching something else with these prices. But okay, Shantoya girl, what you doing? What are these prices?
Listen, I'm in the paper now looking for a horse. Okay, I'm just getting ready to learn how to ride one. I'm already in the deep south, huh? Like I said, the dirty south. I'm already in there, so I may have to look for me a horse. I'm have to ride bareback. So you see me coming through town
Mind your business.
with my
Mind your
cowboy
business.
boots on. You know, it's about to be serious. Okay,
Girl, and
just be ready.
people are making some tough choices whether or not to
Hmm.
pay their light bill, fill up the car with gas, whether or not to see
Right.
grandmama, big mama and them, or just, do video. It is tough, tough, tough right now. And it
Yes.
is not expected to slow down anytime soon. And it's tough. It's tough. And so we all have to make really difficult decisions as we navigate our day-to-day life and whether or not we're going to stay loyal to our favorite gas station that may be a little higher than the others or what decisions we're going to make, which brings us directly into our topic for the night, which is we're going to be talking about loyalty. Let's talk loyalty because black women, we loyal to everybody, everything, every cause except ourselves, right? We are last on the list when it comes
Yes.
to loyalty. So I just really, really think this is an important conversation for us to have as Black women,
Hmm.
trying to navigate life. And so, Shantoya, what are your thoughts on loyalty?
I'm kind of like Kendrick Lamar, loyalty, royalty inside my DNA. Okay, so yes, I got,
Ah!
I try to stay hip. I
No,
know a little something. I got a couple young clients. They be laughing at me. They be like, "Miss Chapman, that's not it."
you hold on to it, girl. Hold on to it, girl. Hold on to it.
So
Stay
yeah,
loyal to that.
yeah, yeah. So I am loyal. It is in my DNA, and just like you said, I've seen demonstrations of loyalty. I've seen
Mhm.
it in my family. I seen it in my mother. I seen it in my father because family is important, especially where
Mhm.
I live and with such a part of a large family. And
Mhm.
I'm gonna have you laugh. That's why I had to leave my town and travel because if not, I would have, mistakenly married one of my cousins by mistake. Because we kidding everybody. I could.
Whoa.
I'm serious. I mean,
Right.
I'm part of a large family on both sides, my mom and my dad. So yeah, I mean, I have so many male cousins in my family. So yeah, and we was very close. So and they were very protective of me. But yeah, loyalty is something that's very important. And I
Mhm.
when I looked at the definition, I kept seeing the word consistent because that's
Mhm.
important.
Mhm.
So like if I'm loyal, I'm going to be consistent, and that's me with
Mhm.
my friendship, with my time,
Mhm.
with my communication. You know, you're gonna know that I'm really connected to you because it's a constant demonstration. And I just like to think about, like I said, my family, my sorority sisters. They've been loyal. They've been
Mhm.
loyal. And people like, oh, you're in a sorority, you bought your no, I didn't buy that because
Mhm.
I've seen where that ends for some people, but we have 20 plus years, most of my sorority sisters, 20 plus years. And so
Right.
that's loyalty to
Mhm.
me. I mean, they have been through all my transitions of life. And, as a young woman entering into college and now, a wife, a mother in my respective roles. So as they are. And so it's like, yeah, that's loyalty when you have that time, you
Right.
know.
Mhm.
And when we together, it's like, hey, we are connected, we're close, and we have a bond. So yeah, to me, consistency is important when it comes to loyalty.
Right. Questions, what are your
Mhm.
thoughts on loyalty?
I think loyalty can be a blessing, but I also think people can use loyalty as a way to be manipulative
Mm,
and get
Mm.
what they want out of you. So trying to test your loyalty or saying you're not loyal if you don't do this or you're not loyal if you don't do that, or setting boundaries and oh, you're not loyal because you set a boundary. No, I still love you. I can still love you consistently, but it's going to look a little bit different, right? Or
mhm,
you're not loyal to me because you don't give me money every single time I call you. Is that
hmm,
loyalty or is
right.
that me just, feeding into your behavior and excusing your behavior? Loyalty, again, can be a beautiful thing, but I've seen it used to a fault in so many ways in my own personal life and then with the people that I work with in my therapy practice. But it's just like love, right? Loyalty and love,
Mhm,
I think, almost can be synonymous. Love is easy, love is patient, love is
mm,
kind, love feels good, love is natural, love is organic, love is
mhm,
forgiving.
mhm,
But when you
Mm.
feel yourself constantly being tested and having your loyalty tested and questioned behind that and made to feel like you're lesser than because of this and because you're not doing this, you're lesser and you're not loyal, that's not really loyalty. And people
mhm,
oftentimes will say, well, we've been friends for 17, 18 years. That doesn't always mean that person is still loyal to you, unfortunately. So we have to really be careful to use the word loyalty in a loving way and not a manipulative way.
Right. Right. And so
awesome.
what comes to mind with loyalty is how do we know when it's time to let it go,
Hmm.
right? Because we're often taught what loyalty is, the expectation, the consistency, like you mentioned, Shantoya. But as I work with so many Black women, and even the challenges I had in my own life as I grew in trying to develop my sense of self, my independence, and the new version of myself, the healed version of myself. Sometimes loyalty had me chained to old habits and old people that no longer served me. And so we feel guilty because of this thing called loyalty when we're trying to move forward.
Hmm. That's powerful. That's
Mhm.
wow. Wow. Yeah,
And
you're
trying
right.
to trying to make that transition is so hard for so many of us. And understanding that sometimes loyalty expires.
Hmm.
Say
Wow.
that.
Facts. Wow.
There is an expiration date with loyalty. I
Right.
think people think, like I was saying, 15, 16, 17 years, you have to keep being loyal. Well, if you keep violating my loyalty,
Mhm.
I can still love you, but it doesn't mean that I have that same level of friendship with you. I think that's healthy. Things evolve, things
Yes.
change, and that's okay.
Right.
And what you were
Right.
loyal to a few
Absolutely.
years ago may not be the same thing you're loyal to now, and that's okay too.
Hmm. But we set ourselves up for these internal expectations of loyalty, and then when it fails, it's heart wrenching, and we feel guilty, and we can't move forward, and then we get stuck.
Hmm.
And so, part of this journey is understanding that loyalty sometimes expires, and recognizing when people are not loyal to us, that we're loyal to them.
That is so true.
I'm telling you, black women will ride or die. They will ride or die for whoever, whatever, for your man, for your kids, for big mama, for granddaddy and them, for the cousin that just got out of jail, for the cousin that just had 8 kids. I mean, we're gonna ride for all of them, right? But in the process of being loyal to others, we are disloyal to our own self and our own needs. And I say 2022 is about this idea of the renaissance of the black woman, where you get to choose. So
Mhm.
often we feel like we don't have a choice because somebody said this is the box we're supposed to live in, right? And loyalty is in that box, and this is what loyalty looks like.
Mhm.
We're just here to say we get to choose what's in the box and what's out of the box, and I don't have to prescribe to anything.
Mhm. Can I ask you guys a question?
Hmm.
Do you subscribe or how do you feel about the idea of some of this loyalty mentality being rooted in some racial trauma? And when I say that, if we think about even back to and I don't always like to bring this up, but if you think of back in the slave days, right? Our families were broken up consistently. And as Black women, we had to kind of scramble to fix the pieces. We had to be the ones to kind of try to save the family. And I wonder if we've developed a mindset over the years of trying to hold on to anything before somebody takes it from us, trying to hold on to our family and relationships because we have experienced so much being pulled from us from the other side. So I'm wondering if this is some type of, generational trauma. I don't know what you want to call it, racial trauma, but I'm wondering if it's and rooted in that and we've just kind of taken it and evolved with it, but it's still rooted in the fact that so many times our families are broken up by other people that we have to now prove that I'm good enough for you to stay. Nobody can take you from me. I'm gonna give you everything I can because I don't want to lose what I have. I don't want my family to be broken up. I don't want my friendships to be broken up. What do you guys think about that idea?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's a deep fear of abandonment. Like we all go
Mhm.
through and have this sense of this sense of abandonment that just sticks with us as we go through our development, and it's left over from the trauma of slavery and being abused physically, emotionally, and we feel like, and it's embedded in us as a part of the culture. You just hold on to everything and everybody despite how much they hurt us. And so part of the difficulty in loyalty and understanding that loyalty expires is also the sense of, but I'm supposed to hold on to them. And so we've not been taught how to let people go, and as a result of that, we just keep things well beyond their expiration date, keep people around well beyond their expiration date. And so, absolutely, it all links back to trauma. All of what we're seeing is linked back to long history of trauma. And sometimes we forget the impact that it has at a cultural level, at a day-to-day level, at a sense of self level. And we're still working through it.
Yeah.
We're still working through it, right? Shantori, what are your thoughts on that?
I agree with what both of you all said. Like I said, there must be balance with loyalty. I shouldn't lose who I am, like my sense of self and my integrity to maintain my loyalty. And
Mm,
so if I feel like it's compromising my well-being, because it just kind of reminds me of a conversation I hear with people. Like I have a family member and I've been loyal. I'm always helping. I'm always giving. I'm always supporting. But it seems like that person is never satisfied. They expect. Sometimes with that loyalty, for some people, it comes entitlement. And so that
mm,
could become problematic. So yes, I can be loyal, but you must reciprocate it. So it can't always be you taking and I'm giving. So it need to be you give and I give. Like I said in the marriage, 100 and 100. Loyalty is definitely a characteristic that should be present in a marriage, because we should be loyal to each other with our time, our money, when it comes to our love and etc. So yes, loyalty is important, but there need to be balance. It needs
Right.
to be balance.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what's a tip that you would give women that are struggling with the idea of loyalty and when to let go and helping them to choose themselves? What's something that would be important for them to know in that process, Crescents?
I think they need to figure out what their non-negotiables are and define what loyalty is to them, not to everybody else, but to them. And stand firm in whatever that looks like for them, and set clear and realistic expectations for themselves, for the people they want to be loyal, and then also share those clear expectations with that person. Hey, this is what I'm expecting from you. Can you meet this need? Can you not? Having open conversations, because like you said, Dr. Radisha, sometimes we create these alternate realities where we have these expectations of people. When they don't meet these expectations, we're heartbroken, we're upset, and the whole time the person's like, I didn't know you wanted that, I didn't know you needed that, I could have did
Right.
it for you, but you ain't give me a chance. So open, clear communication, knowing what your non-negotiables are, and knowing where you stand and standing in that firmly.
Absolutely. Shantoy, what's some tips you would give to a woman trying to navigate the loyalty process?
Crescent, she did a good job. Basically, what she said, I just pick it back off that. Like I said, know what your non-negotiables are. Having consistency when it comes to loyalty, and then if I feel like your loyalty is not the same, it's not equal, then I need to have that conversation. And I think that what happens sometimes, that we build these bond and relationship with people, and we don't want to check people. And so it's like, I need to check you. If I feel like you're not meeting me where I am, then I want to have the ability to check you as a friend, as a sister girl, and say, hey, I feel like, we're kind of not at the same, place like we used to. So like, I'm calling you more, I'm giving more to you, and you're doing less for me. Tell me what's that about? So that's something that I tell my clients who have those, conversations and interactions with, family members, friends, spouse, partners. It's like, hey, I've noticed a shift. I noticed a change. Tell me about that. We don't want to wait to think escalate to a point that we're ready to remove people out of our life to say, oh, well, yeah, you're not loyal, so I'm going to get rid of you. If they have been loyal for some time and just something has happened, then it's like, okay, let me find out what's going on. But it's going to be important that I am vocal how you're not showing up to the table like you used to.
That's facts right there. That's big facts, as my cousin would say. You know, mostly you get to choose. You get to choose. That's so it's a simple idea but a powerful one, that we get to choose who's a part of our life. We get to choose what loyalty looks like. We get to choose when that person is no longer serving us, when they're no longer loyal as defined by us. As women, as Black women, we get to choose. We don't have to prescribe to anybody else's idea of loyalty other than our own, right? So what loyalty looks like to me may look different from what loyalty looks like to Shantoya or Crescents, but it is my life, my definition, and I get to choose, and that's really, really so important. And speaking of loyalty, I tell you, as we come to a close for season 1 of Hello Healing Podcast, these two ladies, let me just brag on them a little bit. Let me try to pull the tears back, but these ladies have just stepped up to the table and come through. Listen, they each are entrepreneurs. They're each are very busy schedules. And they are the bomb.com, right? They all each one of them have been featured on national television. So you're not talking about just regular run of the mill folks, right? These therapists, when I spoke to each of them, they were excited about coming and being a part of the show because they're passionate about Black women and Black women healing. And when I look at my loyalty, how I define loyalty, it's about consistency, like Shantoya said. And each week they showed up. Yeah, every 9 o'clock every Thursday, we are here talking to y'all, and they have volunteered their time, come through, and that's what loyalty looks like to me. And I just want to recognize Crescent Campbell, Shantoya Chapman for being the loyal, amazing women that they are. Let me tell you.
Love you. Thank
Thank
you.
you, love. Thank you so much. And listen, I appreciate what you're saying and the accolades that you're giving us and you're showering us with your praises, but we wouldn't be here if it weren't for your vision. So I'm just excited you thought enough of me, oh country girl me, to say, you know what? I'm gonna put her on here, cause I know she got something to say, and so I'm just grateful for your vision. And like you said, that's loyalty when you could serve others, in when they have a vision and help it unfold. And see, cause I'm not greedy. I one thing I could say, I've never been taught, to envy people, to be jealous of people, because like we all have our time to shine. So,
Right.
Dr. Radish, we go way back. Like they say, we go way back. And, and we always had a connection, even when
Right.
we see each other passing in the hall at the VA hospital. Be like, what's up,
Right.
girl? You know, and we always had that connection. Like, girl, you still in here? You still in here in these trenches?
Yeah, I know. I'm a hustler. I'm a
Girl,
hustler.
you still in here. and and
Right.
yeah, and to see
Right.
you grow and see how you have flourished yourself, and it's just, I admire you, and so I'm just grateful that you decide to bring me along. So kudos to you,
Well,
dear.
you have a very important voice and vision and I think the listeners need to hear you, right? We all represent different forms and different aspects of our lives and different perspectives of a black woman. We don't all act the same. We're all therapists, but we all got our own approaches and own philosophies, and we handle things differently. And I that was really important for me for the show, is to allow people to understand there's no one size fits all to anything, and to have different successful women therapists come on and share their perspective. And for me, I've always been of the mindset that there's two things I don't fight about. I don't fight about no man, and I don't fight about money. And so we are all on one mission, and that's what links us all together. That's what this loyalty life looks like. And I want to encourage other women, if you have God has given you a vision, to step forth in that vision, and you may not have the tribe now, but you go out and find them. Like, look at Crescent. She all the way in New York. I mean, with New Jersey, living the life in New Jersey, and we down here in Georgia, but we making it happen because her voice is so important, and we wanted her. I wanted her to be a part of the show. So, New Jersey in the house.
And
We
Dr.
don't hold
Radisha, listen, I just also wanted to tell you thank you. I'm gonna piggyback off of Shantoya. Just, we met one time and we taped my podcast and we stayed on the
right
phone on that Zoom for like another hour
hours.
and a half. I should have recorded the rest of the material, but it was so free flowing, and the love and support that you poured into me from that minute, I was like, wow, she's she's amazing. And my grandmother always says sometimes people see things in you that you don't see in yourself. And I was
Right,
like, she sees something. We gonna go with it. Just the encouragement, the words. And I was like, you don't even know me from a can of paint.
right.
So thank you for allowing us to come on this platform and reminding each one of us how important we are and that we have voices, because they say you go into the grocery store and it's 15 million different brands of bread. It doesn't mean you still can't be that bread, even though there's 15, right? So sometimes when you're a therapist and you're a black therapist, even though there's not a lot of us, we can feel saturated. We can feel like we're not
Right,
special. And you remind us all the time that you are special because you have your own lane, your own niche,
right.
whatever you want to call it. You do your own thing. So I highly thank you for this vision. I highly thank you for the work that you're doing. And I just thank you for being you. God bless you. Thank you.
Oh, thank y'all so much. I wanted to ask, what's something that you learned or surprised you as a part of the season, Shantoya?
Whew. Well, listen, one thing I must say, you all have been so supportive, along with Natalie, the producer of the show. And I'm gonna tell you, at the beginning, I had so many internet problems. HughesNet, whew, I could send you a nasty letter, but I'm trying to do what Jesus said to do. Okay, because I want to go there. I mean, I was getting all these packages, and let me tell you, I had to do a reel on it on Instagram. I had to tell HughesNet goodbye. Okay. But these ladies were so patient with me, and they didn't hassle me, they didn't talk down, they didn't criticize me. I mean, they were supportive along with Natalie. And because this was a new journey for me. I never been on a platform like this. And so these two ladies are seasoned, okay? They know what they're doing. They have been in this virtual world like this before. I haven't. So I was nervous. And I remember Natalie said something so profound, the producer, and she said, I said, I'm so nervous. And she said, that's just a demonstration that you're human. And I was like, girl, you right. Thank you so much. Because see, sometimes people think that we don't want people pouring into us. I need someone to pour into me.
Right.
I need someone to pour into me. So I don't never think I get to a status, a platform that I can't be poured into. So I'm always eager to listen. I'm teachable, okay? I'm teachable. And so this has allowed me to learn because, like I said, I'm the new kid in this. Never thought I would be here. Like I said, if people go back and listen to me, I had made my mind that I was going to work this career job and that's going to be it.
Hmm.
Never in my years would I imagine I would be here. Never, never planned this. So it's an honor and a pleasure to be here. And I said, this is nothing but God. So it's a lot that I learned about myself
Right.
and, about creativity. Like I say, kind of being out here with social media. All this is new. I'm navigating this as I go. I'm learning as I go. And so I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful for, this journey. I'm grateful.
All right. Lessons, what's something that surprised you about this season or something you learned as part of the season?
I learned that my voice should be heard, and it's just as important as the person next to me.
Mm,
Sometimes we are so loyal to pouring into other people that we don't pour into ourselves enough. And each time that we're done with the episode, I feel myself growing. I feel myself getting more comfortable. And it's been a few times I've been like, "Hot dog, you sound like you know what you're talking about. You sounded decent out here. You okay? You got So I've learned to just walk in my purpose, and my purpose doesn't have to be the same as Dr. Radisha's or Shantoya, but the end result of what we want is the same. And I might
right.
go about it differently. My wording might be a little bit differently. I'm from a different area, different culture, different age range, all those different things. But we all have something important to bring to the table, and nobody is more important than you are. Um, yeah, I've learned to just continue to pour into myself and continue to increase my self confidence when it comes to my ability to be a bomb clinician. And that's it. And be forgiving of myself when I make mistakes. We had an episode, my son woke up, I was like, "Oh my God, I'm terrible." Then I was like, "You're a mom. These things
Right.
happen. And it's okay. We don't want it to happen in every episode. We're not gonna do that." But giving yourself enough grace, because you guys were like, "It's okay, don't worry about it." And I was so worried, like, "Oh my God, they're gonna think I'm unprofessional, they're gonna think da 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 da." But these things happen. So
Right.
forgiving myself, loving myself, and having enough confidence in myself. That is what I've gotten from this season. Now, y'all done pipe me up so much, I might come back next season. And y'all gonna be like, "Who is she? She not gonna know how to act."
Yeah,
No, I'm gonna
hooray!
still be humble. Listen, I got an old fashioned Jamaican grandmother and mother. I know how to be humble. I take the trash out when I go. Good evening, good night, good morning. Thank you, please, all of that. So no, I will always remain humble.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I think for me, it has just been uh just an overwhelming sense of joy, of appreciation for small things, appreciation for the conversations we have, because people don't understand it goes down after the show, right? And so we really have created this sisterhood and this bond that I think helps us not only professionally but personally, and I value that because, as Shantoya mentioned, we all need to be poured into, no matter what level of success you are, what people think you are. We all struggle as professionals, as Black women, as we navigate life. One of the more profound things for me in this season is the conversations that happen with women as they watch the show, as they talk to their grandmother, as they talk about therapy, as they talk about being able to choose their pleasure points and sex and re-engaging in orgasms and owning their bodies. And that conversation really just makes my heart smile, because that's what this journey is all about. That's what Hello Healing is all about. And the show's name came one day. I was at my cousin's house, and we were just three women, my bonus mom and my cousin. We're all talking about the pain, that all the different situations that women in our family have overcome or are dealing with. And we were just talking about the pain of the Black woman, and how many obstacles we have to face, and all the difficulty as Black women we go through. And they're always eager to hear my opinion as the family therapist, right? And so as I was sitting there, and they were talking about a specific situation, I said, "What you're seeing is pain, the results of pain, and what we do with that pain." And I looked up on the wall, and my cousin, who had a picture of hello, just the word hello, like a lot of people have the word hello framed. And I was just like, "Man, God, it's so heavy, it's so much. Like, what else can I do?" Right? Because there's only so many hours in a day to provide individual therapy. And I said, "What else can, like, in my quiet thoughts, I said, God, what else can I do? What else can I do?" And in that moment, I looked up, and I was in that moment, I was saying, we need healing. We need a major transformation of healing to come through our family, for many Black women and their families. And I looked up, and it said, and I saw her uh, picture frame that said hello. And I said, we really just need to say hello to healing. And that was the birth of the show. And my cousin sat back. She said, my God, she said, that's it. That's what we need. And so through prayer and inspiration and asking God, well, how could I bring that to the people? How could we serve more people? How can people have these conversations, the same conversations we're having right now, to let them know, one, whatever you're going through, you're not alone, right? You're not alone in this process. And healing can feel so lonely. Pain can make you think nobody cares about you, nobody looks like you, nobody values you. And so I said, I really need to do this in a podcast, but I think I need to have the same level of conversation with other Black women, because it's important for us to see ourselves and others, and important to have different perspectives, all geared towards healing. And that's where the vision came from, and how you wonderful ladies now are part of the show, and how we're now touching so many other people, strangers that we never met, that are now having conversations, husbands and wives that are having conversations, and enjoying the tips that we provide. And that's really what this renaissance of the Black woman is about, is really touching the level of healing like we never had before, and embracing this thought of, hey, I get to choose my life. I get to create the life, because ultimately nobody's going to come and save you. I think once for my own journey, once I realized nobody's going to come and save you. God is not going to put somebody in your path and just say, Radisha, snatch the fried chicken out your hand, right? Right? You've got to take control. You've got to take action. And that's what the show provides, is tips that you can take action from, and really create the life in which you deserve, because God only made one of you for a reason. You're precious. And so often we think of ourselves as just, here we are, another therapist, here another Black woman. But the fact is, no, you are one of a kind. And we have to shift our mindset, and hold ourselves in a way that remind us that we are precious, and that we're only one of a kind for on purpose, and that we can create and develop a life in which we deserve. Shoot, we have gone through, you tell me a group of women that have gone through more than Black women, okay? So we deserve this life. We deserve happiness. We deserve peace. We deserve to feel whole. We deserve to feel love. We deserve it all. And that's what this journey is all about. And if this show has touched you in any way, we would appreciate you subscribing, liking, sharing, and really having a conversation with the other women in your life. That's what this is about, having the conversation with other women in your life. And you can email us at hellohealinglive@gmail.com. And ladies, what are some final thoughts you wanna share about the season, about the audience listening? Crescents.
I just say stay tuned for more wonderfulness to come. Stick with us because we got so much more in store.
Yes, we do. Shantoya, what you got for the people?
I just hope that, like you said, Dr. Radisha, this has been a blessing. It has stimulated open conversation, open your mind, even when it comes to therapy, because there's so many stigmas. And I'm so happy to be in a community. Like I said, we're a small community, but we are great when there's unity amongst us. And so I just hope that people realize, okay, therapy doesn't look the way that I thought. There are people of color who are providing services. And so no longer can therapy be put in a box of the way it look and how it's delivered. So I just hope that this type of communication will continue. I'm excited about what's to come. I know we're going to be rocking. We're going to have some laughters. It's going to be fun. I may throw on some sequins and some fur because they know me. I'm a little extra. So see, season two may be on and popping. They're gonna be like, wait a minute now. She really kind of showing herself. Yeah, I'm a season member. So I gotta come and do a little something flashy, you know, so you can tune in. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for what's to come.
Absolutely. I want to see the sequence in the fur. I'm here for it. I am here for it. But since this is the final season or the final episode in season one, I want to do something a little special, do a little giveaway. So the person that shares this episode the most and reshares it will get a copy of my new book, Girl Let Him Go. Girl Let Him Go. It's going to be sent personalized to the person that shares this and reshares this episode the most. It is my gift to you to say, I love you. I appreciate you supporting the show and sharing the message. And we have so many wonderful things in store for next season. We're going to take a little break to recalibrate and really to work on some exciting things. We're going to be having guests. Just to give you a little preview, we're going to have some guests showing up for season two. We're going to have a live in-person event coming up. More to hear about that. We bring Hello Healing live in person, right? And one of the things that I'm really wanting to do is I want to do a dating episode. I want to bring on single men. So you better keep tuning if you're in the market. I'm gonna bring some single men that I have hand picked, that I have interviewed, that I have done my investigation on, and we're gonna really have a real conversation about dating and relationships, and we're gonna have the guys here. And we might be setting up some people on some dates. So I wanted that. Listen, healing about healing love too. So we're gonna be doing that all we're going to be working on all of that for season two. It's going to be amazing. You will see all these beautiful faces, all these different versions of chocolate. We're going to be back again for season two. Again, please like and share this episode, and the person that reshares this episode the most, guess what, you're going to get a book, girl. We're going to get a book, and that's going to come right to you. In the meantime, we're going to be working. So if you have a speaking engagement at church or at your group, any organizations you have, any group, listen, hit these ladies up. Crescent Campbell. Crescent, give a little bit about which topics that you most often speak about in your speaking engagement. I know I heard you talk about sneaky links and I was dying, but what I was like, girl up there telling the folks about sneaky links. Okay. But tell the people your topics. I know self-care is big for you.
Yeah, self-care is big for me, but self-care from the understanding the psychology under self-care. It's not just, nails, hair, all that. Understanding why we don't engage in self-care, right? Why don't we have boundaries that honor our self-care? Where did we learn that we don't deserve self-care? Where do we learn our examples of self-care? Understanding what self-love looks like encompassed with self-care. So those are the things I normally talk about. And I also talk about how trauma impacts self-care as well. So self-care is my niche. That's what I talk about. But again, it's not from a superficial standpoint. It's from a trauma impacts it, boundaries impact it, like a self-esteem impacts, self-awareness, and all of those things. And I also bring a little bit of discussions about neuroplasticity in the brain and window of tolerance and all of those things. So it's a mouthful, but if you want to sum it up, self-care. But if you want to talk about self-care from a more more deeper, for lack of better terminology, if you want to talk about self-care on a deeper level, I'm your girl.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. And what's the best way for them to contact you?
Best way is through info@holly street counseling.com or hollystreetcounseling@gmail.com. So either info@hollystreetcounseling.com or hollystreetcounseling@gmail.com.
All right, perfect. And Shantoria, I know you have done several speaking engagements, so tell the people the topics that you like to speak on for their church events or parties, whatever they got going on, and they want to bring mental wellness as a part of the conversation.
Well, grief and addiction are my two areas I would say of specialties.
Mhm.
And grief because I've had my own journey of grief and I talk pretty open about it. So um, I just feel that people don't know what that should look like, how to grieve, what bereavement looks like. And I think in the African American community, we have been told you grieve silently, and that is far from the truth. And so I am creating my journal about grief that will be coming out soon, that I will be introducing once it's complete. It's in the works now, because I felt like this is my way of healing. And it's taken me a couple of years because people think grief is something that it passes. No, grief stays, it lingers. It
Right.
lingers. And so I tell people it's not an end to it. You know, it because unfortunately we're going to deal with grief in different ways. You know, aging, our health, our finances, like you say, relationships. So grief is going to come in so many forms. So we must, in a way, get accustomed to it. So,
Mhm.
grief and addiction are definitely my area. And when I say addiction, now, I don't deal with sexual addiction. I don't know nothing about that. I had somebody calling me talking about ponies and midgets. I said, wait a minute. I don't do that type of stuff now. I don't know nothing about that now. Okay, I don't know why them two together, but I don't, let me be politically correct. Small people. I don't understand why small people and midgets are in the same category, but I don't have anything to do with that. So let me clarify what I'm talking about addiction. Okay, I'm talking about substance abuse. Okay, alcohol, illegal substance, ecstasy, meth, cocaine, crack, whatever your choice, whatever your flavor of the month. That's kind of area I deal with now. So don't be coming to be talking about no sexual addictions because I don't know nothing about that. I turn somebody away. All money's not good money. That's what I've been told by my grandmother. All money's not good money. So no, sir, I cannot help you. No, ma'am, I can't help you with that. No. I don't know nothing about that. So I had to stay in my lane. Okay? I had to stay in my lane. So let me just specify substance abuse and grief. Okay? I just want to clear. I don't want nobody trying to bombard me. Okay? I don't have time for that. Because I
Oh,
can't serve everybody. I've come to that conclusion. I had an argument with a professor in college. I mean, seriously, grad school. She's like, "You supposed to know, ma'am, no, ma'am." Because when a white man walk up and call me an N word, he got to go. I can't serve him. I'm sorry. Now you ain't gonna convince me. You ain't gonna convince me, ma'am. You're not gonna convince me. So hate to
No,
get
sir,
off
no,
topic, but
ma'am.
yeah, yeah. You ain't gonna
it
convince
limits,
me.
it
Mm-mm,
limits
mm-mm,
us.
nope, nope,
Oh
nope.
my God,
So
girl,
yeah,
my
so those are
stomach.
my areas. Okay, I just want to clarify. All right. 'Cause we got some freaky stuff
Oh,
going on out here now.
there are a lot of freaky stuff going on. There's a
Yeah.
lot of fetishes happening. But girl, you are funny. you know, we are all on our own healing journeys, and we are work in progress. God's still working on us for sure. But this gives you an idea of the diversity that happens. And listen, hit up these ladies if you want to book an amazing speaker at your next event. They gonna bring the house down, and we need to be talking about mental health in every aspect of our life, at work, at church, at our family reunions, at our social events, at our parties. We need to have the conversation because it affects us at every level of our lives. And so don't forget, hit them up and book them, and we'll get it popping. And so as we come to the close for this episode and the closing for season 1, we just want to lift up our Hello Healing cups to toast to an amazing season. I just want to say thank you, ladies, and Natalie, who's behind the scene. This is a team of 4, and to say thank you guys for making this possible. and for being a part of the journey to help heal so many women. All right, y'all, till next time. And remember, no matter what you're going through, it is never too late to heal.
Amen.